In the meantime, tensions fled in Makurdi on Sunday as youths took to the streets in protest over the growing wave of violence and insecurity across Benue State. Despite tight security surveillance in the state capital, large crowds of angry youths gathered in the Wurukum area of Makurdi, demanding an end to the killings ravaging their communities. Dressed in mostly black and carrying palm fronds and placards with bold messages, the protesters blocked major roads, bringing traffic to a halt and leaving many commuters stranded. Now, the demonstration sparked panic among road users as the youths called attention to what they described as unchecked bloodshed in parts of the state, including Guma, Gwer West, and Apa local government areas. Now, the protesters say they are fed up with the insecurity and want swift action from authorities to protect innocent lives. Sunday's protest highlights growing frustration among residents as Benue State continues to battle a wave of violence, with communities calling for immediate and lasting solutions.
Yesterday, over 200 people were killed in their sleep. What kind of a thing is this? And Mr. President is quiet. The governor is quiet. These people are not asking for political alphabet. They are just killing people in their sleep.
We have counted more than 10 trucks that are here, more than 10 for peaceful protesters. More than 10 trucks. If we count more than 15 trucks here for peaceful protesters, and these people cannot mobilize and go to Daudu where they are fighting, it is pitiful, it is disgraceful.
The governor has already given us all the necessary support, all the logistics, every support we need. And we are not going to disappoint anybody. Just be patient. What you see happening in your water yesterday is because we have taken over Apa, because we are taking over Gwer West, because we are already pushing in Agatu. So when they were escaping, they just want to do something that they will seem that they are in control, but they are not in control.
Now, still on Benue State killings, Pope Leo XIV has offered prayers for the victims of what he described a terrible massacre in Benue State, Nigeria. Speaking before the Sunday Angelus prayer at the Vatican, the Pope said about 200 people were brutally killed in Yawata, Guma local government area during the night of June 13th and 14th. Now, the Pope prayed for security, justice, and peace in Nigeria, stating that he was particularly concerned for the rural Christian communities of the Benue State who have been relentless victims of violence. His remarks come amid growing international attention on the crisis in Nigeria's Middle Belt, where attacks on farming communities have led to widespread displacement and loss of lives.
Tra il 13 e il 14 giugno, nella città di Yelewata, nell'area amministrativa locale di Guma, nello stato di Benue, in Nigeria, si è verificato un terribile massacro in cui circa 200 persone sono state uccise con estrema crudeltà, la maggior parte delle quali erano sfollati interni, ospitati dalla missione cattolica locale. Prego affinché la sicurezza, la giustizia e la pace prevalgano in Nigeria, paese amato e così colpito da varie forme di violenza. E prego in modo particolare per le comunità cristiane rurali dello Stato di Benue, che incessantemente sono stati vittime della violenza.
Joining us to discuss more on this is Comrade Martin Zoho. He is the coordinator, Northern Nigerian Youth Leaders Forum, Benue State Chapter. Also joining us on the news is a civil society activist, Godwin Okoko. He joins from Plateau State. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. So let me begin with Comrade Zoho. Now, first of all, can you give us an idea of the extent of massacre that, happened recently in Benue State? Comrade Zoho? All right, Godwin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, yes,
Can you hear me as
please,
well?
if you heard my question, please go ahead and give us an idea of the magnitude of the massacre that happened in Benue State, first of all.
First of all, thank you very much, and then also to condole with families affected by this massacre directly, and then also to the people of Benue State, Plateau, as well as the whole nation. It's an unfortunate that human lives have been lost consistently and almost on a daily basis across the states, and the perpetrators of these acts continue to carry out their nefarious activities unabated. I think that what has happened is quite unfortunate, and it's something that should not have happened. Measures need to be put in place to protect lives and properties. From information gathered, people who have also escaped from various communities that have been under attack while taking refuge also were attacked here. And this attack didn't just take place in just one of the communities. It's spontaneously across different communities, covering Gwer West, Guma, as well as part of Makurdi. And we must not stop there. We must also remember the lives that have been lost across Agatu and other parts of the state. And this has been ongoing for a period of time. So I think that from my own end, I would say that it has come to a time that an end and a stop must be put to this senseless killings. Human lives are sacred and they must be preserved, protected, and given all the due support. It's very unfortunate, and I joined also my voice that of His Holiness, the Pope, to say that justice, peace, security must also prevail as well. And as you can see also, as was read also, that the young people also took over the street to protest peacefully to the senseless killing, and also that the police also on ground to maintain law and order, but of course there are concerns that are being dispersed and all that. But beyond this, I think that time has come for us as a people, beyond the rhetorics and the condemnations that comes with all these killings, that we must see that an end is put to this. The perpetrators also must be arrested and prevented from carrying out such kind of attacks.
Godwin, if you don't mind,
Yes.
we would actually have to, pause here for a bit. We'll take a quick break and we will be back to you. Please. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us on the news. Well, we're still talking about the spate of violence in Benue State, and we were talking just before the break. We were speaking with Godwin Okoko, a civil society activist. Now he's still with us. Thank you for staying with us, Godwin. So, well, before the break, you were talking, and we would actually love for you to tell us what you think are the root causes of the escalating violence and insecurity in the state, and also similar regions in Nigeria.
Thank you for these. I would like to say that across the Middle Belt and the North Central state, as well as the Northwestern states of Nigeria, even the North Eastern state of the country, there have been also a lot of issues of contextual insecurity issues. These are tied to several factors we have to deal with. On one side, the issues of the terrorists in the Northeast, the banditry, also in the Northwest, and also the attacks on innocent communities in the Middle Belt. Of course, we must not also throw away the issues of conflict over natural resources that probably have not been resolved across some states between the pastoralists also and the sedentary farmers. But currently now, we must also call a spade a spade. Now, what is happening across the northwestern states, specifically around Katsina, Kaduna axis, are also issues tied to banditry. And also in the Middle Belt part of the country, we are experiencing attacks on innocent communities. A lot of people may want to give it some terms, in terms of some persons may look at it as if it's conflict over natural resources. No, these are not parties to the conflict. Yes, there are grievances.
Hello, Godwin.
Are being killed on a daily basis. People are being attacked in their communities. There is a massacre going on. And those people who are carrying out those actions must be treated as criminals. We must be able to separate criminality from any grievances that have been unresolved. So that when we have been able to deal with those acts of crime, then it gives and provides opportunities for dialogues to continue. There is nothing else we can do in the midst of chaos. Lives are lost on a daily basis across Plateau and Benue. Women and children are killing their dogs. And we cannot continue to condemn those actions on the basis that there are unresolved grievances. No, whatever are the grievances that we are experiencing or that we have, I think what is more important is the safety of lives and property. We're not talking even about the livelihood that have been lost. Today, get it right that across communities in Plateau, Benue, and some parts of we may have mentioned, farmers cannot go to farmland to farm. It means we're talking about food insecurity in the near future here across our country. So measures should be put in place. We have had head of security chiefs, even the national security advisors visit some of these two states. And it's important that words are matched with actions. Lives are protected, lives are secured across those communities. People should have assurances and confidence that the role of our security agencies are important in safeguarding their lives and property, but also that collaboratively, the security actors do not also have any magic wand. They are human beings like us. So this calls also on communities to please provide relevant information that will aid them in carrying out their work. The corporations of each and everyone is important. The act of building a safe, secured, and safe Nigeria is a collective responsibility. The killing must stop. It also calls also for our security actors to also review the security architectural framework of our country. A lot of lives are being lost on a daily basis. What are we doing that we are not doing right?
So speaking of the security architecture, if you can hear me, Godwin, speaking of the security architecture, because we did hear a youth complain of the number of security forces that were sent to the protest, and while little to none sent to protect these communities. How effective are these security measures? Especially the deployment of tactical and rapid response squads, in curbing these attacks.
I can see that the effectiveness of these are really weak from my point of view, considering that despite the presence of those security actors, killings are still going across communities. I think that it is time also for our security actors to deploy the use of technology in dealing and also addressing and also arresting those that have been carrying out those acts. You could see that once security forces are deployed to one community, the next thing you will hear the next day or a week after is that those perpetrators have gone to another community. So it's important also to begin to use technology in dealing and also addressing those issues. Security agencies, yes, they are doing their efforts, but I can see that they are overwhelmed. And it is time for corporations of each and every stakeholder. These are not times to place those things across party or religious lines. These are times for us as Nigerians to see it from a point of our shared humanity. We must cooperate, we must work together collectively. I think also important also that beyond those rhetoric, I think that people need to begin to repose confidence on our security assets. Get it right. Up till now, we have not heard the number of persons who have been arrested across those states that are carrying out those acts. And nobody should get it wrong and say there are issues over natural resources. Yes, there may be grievances, there may be conflict issues, but then what is happening now is criminality and should be dealt with as crime. We urge security actors, we urge politicians, we urge political leaders to come together. Let's sit and have a review around where we are getting it wrong. I think that because of our porous borders, I think also because of our community structures, it is important to deploy the use of technology to enhance security safety across communities.
Okay. Now, what about the community leaders and traditional institutions? What role do they play in preventing violence and also promoting peace in conflict-prone areas?
Like I said earlier, that the act of building a safe, secure Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Each and every one of us have the role, and I think that it's important and implement that religious leaders, traditional leaders, youth leaders, women leaders, civil society organizations, the media, like you're also doing now, all have a voice. Nobody should sit at the fence at this time. It's time that we use our respective platforms or institutions to urge young people, to urge everyone to continue the act and path of peace. There is nothing we can gain with an act of violence, but most importantly is that as community actors, we have a role to play to draw the attentions of our people to provide support for security agencies around early warning informations. If there are information incidents that you notice are the potentials to disrupt the peace we are enjoying in our communities, report it to relevant security agencies, and action should be taken accordingly. So traditional institutions need to encourage each and everyone within their context. The same for religious leaders to use their religious platform, civil society organizations, women leaders and youth leaders. We need to encourage each other on the need to stay peaceful, provide information to security agencies that will aid them in carrying out their work. Most importantly, report strange movement that we also think that has the potential to disrupt our peace and our safety to security agencies. Cooperate with security agencies. At this point, it's not a time for division. This is a time for a united front. We need to reassure the people. And I urge political leaders, Mr. President, it's time for empathetic visitation to some of those affected communities. The governors, it's time. Political leaders at all levels, this is the time to also see what we can do to support those that are directly affected by this. Okay. Again, I use this platform to urge each and everyone that let's not be quiet at this point, and let's ensure that our voices are loud, and they're loud in a peaceful manner. Okay. Communities need to be safeguarded, and it is a collaborative approach.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Godwin, for your time and for speaking on this.